everyone, welcome back to Painted. Thank you for joining me today. It is a horrifyingly rainy week here in Chicago. I know it's been on the national news how much flooding we're getting, and yeah, it has been a thing here. Fortunately, the only water issues I've had today or this week. Hi Rima, nice to see you here. The only water issue I had was what I posted yesterday, which was the joy of coming in and finding that your roof is leaking in your business and a soggy wet ceiling tile hit the floor. Yeah, that was disgusting. Fortunately, my landlord literally walked in as I was about to pick up the phone, tell him what was going on. He looks at it, goes, oh crap, well, I guess we're going to fix the roof even more. So that's good. That makes me happy. I'm not sweating it. Goodness knows, in the grand scheme of things, a minor leak in the roof that somebody else is going to repair is not a big worry to me. So today we are working on a little side table. I have painted it, cleaned it, painted it, primed it, painted it, and when this goes live on or goes onto my YouTube channel, I will attach the fast forward of me doing all the painting work on here. It's just not fun to watch somebody paint a table 3 layers of paint to get it close to the color. It's kind of dull. I am fine, Rima, thank you. I think I look a little tired today. It's been, yeah, a little tired. It's been a hectic couple of weeks. I haven't done a live for a little while. Haven't taken breath and done a live. So I'm coming back to doing it. We are, as you can see, sitting in the way back of my studio. You can see product shelves over here. You can see my stencil rack hanging behind my head because I have my low rotating table in the back of the studio so you can see me work better. Let's see what else I was going to say. Oh yes. Share. I ask everybody to constantly share the videos. Facebook algorithms don't like to be generous with their exposure unless you share the videos a lot. The more you share, the more I can help everybody, and of course the longer I can keep going on doing stuff like this. So now I know you're all bored with listening to me talk. We're going to focus on the table. Now let me turn. This is going to take a minute because I'm not used to focusing this way. I think I'm going to pop this out so I can give you a better view of the table. Forgive the... Sorry, it locked up on me. So if you see this little table here, I have cleaned it, primed it, and painted it. I'm backing up so you can see it a little better. Of course, I have to look at how I'm doing this so you can actually... I'm guessing what you're seeing. So this little table was maple. It had a very bad shellac finish on it, so I cleaned it down, resealed it, and then painted it with several layers of set coat in, I believe the color is salmon. I'm kind of, forgive my face shoved in here now because we've got to get the camera back on the stand. So I know that's, you get to look up my nose. So you can see right here that it didn't completely cover the color, and I'm okay with that because really I'm going to be foiling and putting texture stuff over it. So not seeing the whole thing, I'm sorry, I'm playing with the tripod to get a better view for everybody. Okay, you're going to be looking at the legs because that's what we're going to do next. So what I had done is just wanted to change the tone to sort of an orangey color because of the fun things that I'm going to be working on with this. I needed the undercolor of orange. Hi, Kari, how are you? Everybody give me just a second. I know it's not very glamorous looking at the side of the table, but if I can do this, then I can pop myself up on Facebook. I can read your questions while I don't have to. There we go. Do this, then I can pop myself up on Facebook. And of course now I can hear myself too, so let me turn my own volume down. Sorry, you cannot do this. You cannot do this kind of setup until you actually have the live going, because it won't let you. For a thank you. Okay, so you can see the side of the table. I may move this back a little bit so you get a better view. There we go. A little more of the table around, a little further back. I think you'll be able to see a little better if I push it back a little bit. There we go. So I've painted all of the legs with foil size. Our ArtsSyVille foil size is what I've used on this surface on the legs. And the reason I haven't foiled the whole thing, quite frankly, is because if I foil the whole thing, then I have less control. If a piece of foil gets loose and foils the wrong color up here or down here on the base, I don't want to be stuck with that. So I'm okay with foiling it, taking a little longer to do it the way I'm doing it, and foiling it in bits and pieces, because then I get exactly the layout as I want. Now the first thing I'm doing is working with this gorgeous pink and orange and silver tie-dye, which I love. I only have one piece of this left. I've got more coming in on an order. I'm just waiting on the order to arrive. So meanwhile, I'll just use what I've got, and then we'll substitute into the blank spaces with another color, and we'll be all fine. So I'm just taking a little piece here, and all I'm gonna do is wrap it around the leg. And I can scrub it, or I can just rub it with my fingers, because the adhesive properties of our ArtsSyVille foil size is amazing. Most of the time I can get away with almost no scrubbing, but I'm doing it now because I've got strange shapes and places that I'm working with. And if you can see, I don't know how well it's going to catch the camera. Let me do it up here. You'll see it better. Let me get another piece here. Let's do it up here. This will take the foil adhesive so well, and the foils release well, the adhesive's fabulous. Again, you can buy these at paintedstudio.com. This foil is coming in sometime this week, and look at how pretty that is. All that little pink and orangey color. Oh, I love that, with the silver so that it doesn't get too heavy and too overwhelming. Yeah, I know I'm rubbing it with my fingers, so it sounds bad. Sounds like a squeaky old door. But I'm loving how this is coming out. And, oh, good. I'm glad you can see it, Carrie. Yes, the colors are gorgeous. Now, I also have this in this particular sort of tie-dye modeled foil in brown, silver background with brown and gold on it too. It's so pretty. This makes a great multicolored textural looking background. Now, as you can see, I'm just cutting off little snips because this is all I have left of this foil. Because I'm such a genius, I used it all up even though I knew I wanted it for this project. So I'm kind of just going around and spreading the love on each of the legs so that it all gets on here. On every leg, I get some of this on every leg, and then what I don't get, I'll fill in with a solid pink foil. Oh, I like that. See, I didn't even do anything other than rub with my fingers on this one, and look how well that comes off. Oh, I love this. Now, why did I choose orange? The salmon-y orangey color. Well, the color that you put under your foil makes a difference. Because even if you did what looks like 100% release, sorry, on the surface, quite frankly, it's never 100%. It's a thin film. It's going to be cracking. You're going to have irregularities in application. It'll show. So you want it to look intentional, and you want it to complement whatever you're doing. Oh, I got a little tiny piece of foil stuck on here, and I'm not thrilled with that. I'll have to get something to pry that off with. Nothing like the tip of a scissor that's not going to do it. Oh well, I'll figure it out later, like I always do. So that piece is pretty thoroughly used up. I'm just taking little scrappy pieces to get as much mileage out of this one little tiny piece of foil as I can, because once it's gone, that's all I got, at least for today. I'm waiting on my shipment to come in with my new foils. Oh, and if I got some gorgeous colors coming too. Not only do I have this one, I have a holographic pink flower one coming in, and I have, what else have I got coming in? I've got another rose pattern. I think I've got the brown roses coming, and then I also have, what else do I have? Oh, it's gorgeous black and white one coming in. Just don't want to grab on this too well. I think I need, it's because I'm not scrubbing. I need to scrub a little hard, do a little more scrubbing. Okay. Can you show us the other brown tie-dye foil when you get a sec? Yes, I will. It's over at the table where we will be going in a little while. So I'll show you that brown and gold, and actually thinking of using it on one of my projects over there. So I'll be happy to share it and show it. The first thing we're going to do is get done with these table legs. And then we're going to work with little texture medium. So Carrie, you might have to remind me. Brown roses is stunning. Yes, the brown roses is gorgeous. I have the burgundy roses in stock already. But I didn't, for some reason, I didn't have the brown roses. Don't ask me why, I just don't remember why. All right, let's put a little more foil here. I love the way this is coming out. And you can see the release on this is really, really good. See how nice that is? You know, there's not, I'm not leaving a lot behind unless it's intentional. So I'm gonna keep going on this until I got nothing left on this foil, which is pretty much where I'm at now. Let's see what I can do here. I think now that I've cut it small enough, I can leave a little of it in one piece. So now I'm getting to the kind of cracked up part. Yep. And it is looking gorge. Oh, I'm so happy. And I'm really just using whatever I have of this foil, because this is my last piece. So I'm going to scrub. Leaving a little behind there. Taking whatever I've got that I can find on this. Now I'm doing the foil first before I do the tabletop because I'm about to demonstrate. Hi David, nice to see you here. Because I'm going to demonstrate the plaster on the tabletop, but I want to get all this sticky surface handled first so that there's no leftover surprises for anybody. You know, I don't want to suddenly have ruined my foil because I didn't cover the foil adhesive before I plastered the top. This way I've got clean, non-sticky surface to work on. I don't know if I'm making any sense or if I'm just babbling to you all. I might be just babbling. Oh, there's a piece stuck there. I hate it when I get a little tiny shred of foil that wants to stick to a surface. That's annoying. Okay, so I am just kind of rolling this around and hitting whatever exposed area I can find with this, what little bit I have left of this pink and silver and orange, just to use it to its max, and then enjoy it on the table so it shows up and doesn't disappear with what I'm going to do next. All right, come on, stick on there. I don't know if anybody else does it, but I constantly talk to the stuff I'm working on, especially if it's annoying me. I tell it to be nice, to play fair, all kinds of stuff. Oh, and there's another little piece. This is what happens. My biggest struggle with foil when I'm running out of something is it likes to leave little shredded edges if I've cut these pieces apart, and I gotta pull that one off because it's not supposed to be there. Ah, come on. There we go, got it off. Yes, that's the sizes that carry. I'm sorry, I was reading. I'm squinting because for whatever reason I can't seem to read it on my iPad right now. It doesn't want to let me read anything. All right. Oh, yes. The size is on steroids. It's gorgeous. And Rima, yes, we work alone if we don't talk to ourselves and we're not talking to anybody. That is extremely true. So now I've got all this surface area that doesn't have foil, but I have this wonderful, pretty, beautiful, soft pink foil that I'm going to use to offset wherever the other foils didn't grab. Now, I'm not looking to get perfect release here. I'm not worrying about whether or not it gets into all these little grooves. Although I am going to be picking all the little tiny foil shreds out of the grooves, because they all seem to want to be there. I got one more piece sticking up here, I think. I can't tell if that's foil or just... Let's try this pink. And put it on there. I love this pink, it's so pretty. Yes, I am foiling that underbar of the table. I like how it looks. Oh, that foil released really nicely. Look how nicely that released. So now I'm going to come in over here and get other areas that still have exposed foil adhesive. All it's doing is sort of filling in the gaps. So I'm going to come in up in here, scrub some more down here, because there's a whole lot of surface that I didn't even touch with this with the foil on the first pass. Oh yeah. Come on, let go, let go. There we go. You see, it's taking it off, but it's not taking it off evenly because I already had foil on the surface. So I'm just kind of going around. And doing a really thorough job of foiling takes time. Because while I'm not worried about perfection, yeah, I want to get as much on here as I can, because otherwise, what's the point? Now you're going to have to get that pink in stock. Yes, you are. Isn't that pretty? I love this pink. All right. Let me come around this side and foil up that little spot right there. Oh, I like how this is grabbing. I like that it's uneven and imperfect, because then it's consistent. It's consistently inconsistent. I know you can't all see. I'm down at the feet down here. So you're looking at like nothing. Let's see. Let's turn this way. I'm trying to keep the iPad turned with me so I can see what you're saying and answer your questions, which seem to. So far, you seem to be getting this. I know I am. Yes, remember the adhesive is stunning. And I will tell you right now, because I've had my can open for a little while, I thinned it down because it was getting a little too thick. And I thinned it about 15% with water. And I am not losing any of the adhesive qualities of this. Let's see, where did I put my scrubber? I'm gonna spin the table around just to get at the scrubber. Let's see what sticks when I scrub a little. Oh yes, that's coming out so pretty. Get in here. I know you've been seeing a lot of samples and with foil done, but this is really what it's like to work on a piece of furniture. It's awkward. The positioning is strange. Sometimes nothing wants to fit just right. You work with what you got. I scrub a little with my fingernail sometimes. I'm not getting relief with any, I keep trying to say relief. I'm not getting any relief. If I'm not getting release with a scrub brush or anything else, because of weird position, fingernails work. Okay. And let's see, get down here. Going down on the, I think you can see where my hand is back here so you can see what I'm doing. I'm getting down onto the lower finials. I'm also trying to get this thing to pop up messages because I can see you are, yes, Kari, it is a gorgeous combination, very glam. The person to whom this table belongs is going to be thrilled. She's another one of my pink clients. So that always makes for fun work for her. So if I can paint stuff pink, she's very happy. And I'm just sort of coming around, filling in the cracks. Yeah, I know I'm babbling, but I gotta do something while I'm working. Normally, while I'm working, and actually, it's a good question for everybody. When you're working, when I work by myself, I either have a book downloaded, or I put on a movie in my iPad that I've already seen so it doesn't distract me. It's just like noise in the background, a story that I get to listen to. Okay, so I'm kind of going around here, and I'm gonna move the tape. And as you can see, I've used up most of this foil. So it's not like we're not getting mileage out of this. And some legs are going to be more pink than others, simply because of how much of that foil I had to work with. So we're going to do some more for this foil. Again, look how pretty that pink is. It's beautiful. Hey Cindy, nice to see you here. All right, let's see where we're going with this. Let's see how the release is. Maybe I'll scrub a little this time. It's a good thing you can't see my face half the time because the crinkling of the nose to get the glasses to go up higher is not my best look. All right. Let's see, get a little more in here. There. And as you can see, the pink is filling in really nicely where I run out of the other foil. So you get a really complete look. The pinks are harmonious with each other, so they don't look out of place when it's not a really strange pink versus the pink that's already in the marbled foil. And all I'm doing again is I'm running my fingernails around the grooves here just to get a little more detail in. Oh, you're painting your hutch with foils. Cool. gets in. I don't know about anybody else, but I get in these weird positions and it starts getting sore. You know, I just need to paint perfectly upright, I think, from now on. So I'm not sitting in peculiar positions, hunched over things. Okay, let's get some of that in here. Let me get this back here. Right. Now, one more leg left to do. I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me go down to the feet of this because, quite frankly, it's not even in the frame. So you won't see what I'm doing. You'll just see what looks like me doing obscene things to my table. So now I'm just foiling. Some more foiling. I might have missed a spot with foil adhesive. Not a problem. All I need to do is put some more on. What happens sometimes, you paint clear stuff on things and don't always see if you got it all. Let's rub a little pink on here. Oh, come on. There we go. Looks like I'm being obscene with my table legs. That's it. My video is going to be pulled from Facebook. Somebody's going to report me for molesting my table legs. All right. I think I've gotten about all I'm going to get off of this foil. I still have the lower feet to do, but that's not a big deal. So you can see, I used my foil really thoroughly. Now the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to get ready to paint the top here. So of course I have to tape off the lip because eventually I think I'm going to foil right here, but I'm not doing that before I do the top because I put my foil on there and then put tape over it and I'm just going to rip up my foil. I don't want to do that. So we're going to tape. You get the thrill of watching me tape off. Okay. Let's get the edges taped. Now, if this had no texture and no foil and stuff like that, my painting technique would have probably been a little different. Let's rub a little foil here, see what that does. It takes off some. I would have primed it a lighter color. I would have been more careful with my brush strokes. I would have done a couple other things. But because I know I'm placing a texture over it, and all of the brush strokes and methods of application marks and stuff, they're all going to disappear. What will I top coat the foil areas that won't change the metallization? I use Varnish Plus. I have found that Varnish Plus gloss handles foils without changing them and making them look dull really, really nicely. Okay, I'm checking my tape job, checking my edges. Got one little higher there that I'm happy with, so I'm going to go back and fix that. There we go. So you can see I'm burnishing my edges down so I don't have any product seep under. And then I'm gonna roll you back to see me. We're gonna mix our plaster and our colors, and then I'll lift it up so that you guys can see what's going on. Okay, I know you missed me. Okay, so you're gonna see me ducking down a few times because I'm sitting on the floor and everything else is on the floor. So we're gonna work with our ArtsSyVille texture medium, which I love. I love this stuff. Dries hard, dries nice, has a little bit of translucency to it, great texture. So first I'm gonna take some of this and scoop it into a container. Now it's not gonna take a lot to cover this tabletop, but I always mix a little extra because I'm a slob and a klutz, and I tend to lose track of things. So I have to make sure I have enough product, and I'm gonna tint it. Now understand, this product is white. I'm not gonna get black out of it. It's not a tint base, it's a white tinted product. Let me get the pink foil out of the way before I get medium all over it. Put that over there. Okay. Whew. But it's not, the foil's rolling off the table. Jeez. All right, stay. Stay. Just stay. Okay, so I can tint this. It takes colorants really well. My texture medium's in a cup here. I can use tints from all companies. Liquid tints better. Powder tint pigments, they're not happy with. This medium's not happy with. So I can use faux cream color in red and yellow to get orange. I happen to have one from Guerrera Pigments called Medazzo HGL. I don't know, I can't even pronounce the whole thing, but it is an orange. And I went to last year I went to Guerrera Pigments in New York. They had all these wonderful liquid pigments that I could use to tint anything. So I'm gonna use some of that, and I'm putting, yeah, that's good and orange. We'll start with a good hefty dose of pigment. And I know I have a mixing stick over here. Really, all I want to do is keep it from being quite so white, because if I put foil over it, you know, the foil is going to be showing white as opposed to at least even a peachy tint. And you can see I'm mixing the color. So that was a lot of pigment that I put in here. And you can see I'm just barely at a peach color. So I want you to understand that you're not going to get lots of deep, rich colors tinting this, but you can change the color and tint it all you want. Just don't expect it to be like black, navy blue, that sort of thing. That takes way more pigment. You'll actually never get it that dark because of the white that's in here. And what's more, if you put too much in, you're just going to turn this into a soupy mess. So I'm going to put a little more orange in. Okay, a lot more orange, just to get it a little deeper. Here we go. And I'm going to have to shift the camera around so that you can see what I'm doing on the top of the table. So be prepared to get a little seasick as I move the camera around. All right, come on. Finish mixing. I can see lots of tint down the bottom. Oh, this is like orange sherbet color, which will work just fine for what I'm doing. I'm gonna try to get it mixed up. I don't like, you know, it won't affect it if I have pigment streaks in here. I just think that's sloppy, so I like to try to mix it if I can. Again, it won't be an issue on this, but it would be on something else if I didn't mix the pigment through completely. All right, so I have this nice orange sherbet color. All right, I'm gonna be smart girl today, put on some gloves, but I'm gonna do it after I move the camera, and then you get to watch me dance around for a minute and get organized. Look, we've got texture rollers that we're gonna play with. We've got our ArtsSyVille texture medium that I just tinted orange. I have a trowel, people. I have a trowel. I didn't lose my trowel. I have one. All right, give me a second to adjust the camera so I know you all can see the top of the table. And then we'll get to that. Okay, I know you're not seeing it yet. I have to play with the tripod for a minute. Okay. Sorry for the shaking. We're on a snake arm here, so it makes really for shaky stuff when I start moving things around. All right. I think let's play with this to get it in camera frame. All right. So here we are. You got it. You can see it now. Let's put the gloves on. Yay, gloves. Alrighty. Ooh, and I got foils all over the floor. Oh, I made a mess around my feet too. So for those who are still learning the art of troweling, you put, here's my trowel, you put the plaster on the side that's going to hit the surface. So if you're left-handed like I am, my left hand, you put it on the opposite side. So I'm putting it on the right side of the trowel. All right. Now all I'm going to do, besides try not to grab the legs with hands that have plaster on it, is trowel the surface 100% coverage. And I'm not worrying about getting rough edges here because I can sand those down later. See, I got that nice peachy color up there. I have to turn this a little, folks. Sorry. You were nicely framed, but my arms don't reach that far. I have short arms. So here we go. I'm getting all this beautiful peachy texture, orange sherbet color, sort of like an ice cream stand table with all these pretty oranges and pinks on it. All right, almost done. Got the last little bit of plaster. Now, generally, on a wall, I'm going to go for organic movements like this because that's what's working on a wall. On a piece of furniture, I can get away with being a little more structured, a little more vertical and horizontal in my final passes on top because that actually creates a slightly smoother surface. For what I'm doing with furniture anyway. And you can see I'm going to have thinner spots than thicker, and that's all perfectly fine too. And you can see I've got a lot of work time with this. I'm not having it dry up on me at all. So this is a great plaster to work with for any surface. Now we're going to have some fun. So I'm going to kind of put some different rollers through and see it. I know which roller I'm ending up with because I think it fits the piece most. But these are such cool patterns. Look at this. This is called Ovalicious. Look at what a cool pattern this makes. It actually creates ovals that stand up. Now, I'm not keeping this. I'm not crazy. This doesn't fit this piece. But see what this does? It goes in and pops those ovals up, which I think is very, very cool. I really like that. Okay, pulling that off. Now, obviously, if that's not the one I'm going to use, I need to smooth this back over. And look, I've still got plenty of product and plenty of work time. And it exposed that two-tone layer of color with the Ovalicious. I have another idea for another table. I think the Ovalicious is a better choice, or not necessarily this one. So I could go a little more structured and use the diamond. And you can go with the diamonds really tightly organized, or you can kind of come in and do this. You could even roll your diamonds back and forth across it and get another great texture. See, it's a super easy pattern to work with, and I love it. And again, I carry these patterns, so if you love these rollers, feel free to shop at paintedstudio.com. I would love to be selling you rollers. All right, so you can see that, you know, I've tested a couple patterns. I knew they weren't going to be quite right, but I could not resist giving a shot. And I do this a lot of times. I think I know exactly what I want to do, and then I try a couple of different patterns and realize what I thought was going to be great wasn't, and what I didn't think was going to be so good ended up perfect. So I am just spreading more product around. I'm not ignoring you. Linda, I will read all of your comments in a second. My hands, I can't even touch anything to knock it down to figure out what it was you were saying. I just saw the first part of your Ovilla remark, but I have to touch it to read the questions, and obviously this is not the moment to do that. Okay, so the pattern I really want to do with this is Artsy Leaf. Now this is a great pattern. You can see it right here. You can see I've used it a lot for different things. But what I love with Artsy Leaf, it's designed for you to put it on in any way that makes you happy. Oops, I'm gonna have to fix that spot. And I don't like that. It's a little smeary right there. See, I can go back in and just fix what I don't love, because it's super forgiving. And what happens really is that I got too much stuff building up, and I have to go grab a rag. Excuse me. The one thing I managed to forget was my roll-off towel. Back through. I always have some sort of roll-off towel because the plaster wants to build up. And I do that on jobs too. See, now I got a nice clean pattern there. And let's see. I don't want to do that way. I want to do this way. There we go. So I got this beautiful leafy pattern in here. Someplace it's heavier, someplace it's lighter, and that's exactly what I wanted to do. I'm gonna take my gloves off, and maybe we're gonna go over and do a few more little bits of stuff with foil, and then after I'm done with you all, I'll come back and work on something else. All right. So, hey Lori, June, you're coming in June, Kari? Great. Bring an empty suitcase. I got lots of goodies. All right, we're going to come back over here to this workspace. You can see I have foils and all kinds of stuff everywhere. Let me move this is my camera arm, and it's on a weighted base, so I have to move it over to the table and try not to drop it. All right. Sometimes I'm a little challenged with these things. Sorry for the hand. Sorry for the drop too. I told you I'm a little challenged sometimes when it comes to all this stuff. All right, so here, if you look down here, you can see I've been working on some stuff. These are for another client, and I am going to grab my scrub brush. I'll be right back. So So you get to look at the upside down ducks for just a moment while I come back over here with all my stuff. All right. So, as you can see, I used some of that pink and tie-dye foil on the duck. This is for a client. His dad used to make cutting boards, and I have the last 4 cutting boards his father made before he passed away. And my client wants me to foil them and do fun stuff like I did with the Easter eggs. So this one was a specific request, and you can see it's on the back of it's pink, and you can see how differently that reads with the pink versus the table with the orange. Now I'm getting my product covered iPad put upright so I can read your comments and questions, and we will do some more foiling. Okay, here we go. Wow, it's showing me doing other things. I don't know what's going on. All right, so here I am at the table. I'm back again. I can see you. I can see all of you. All right, so let me go to this one. Now, this one is painted with Elizabethan purple metal glow, and then it has the designer foil size over it. And he wanted one that was very specifically an imitation of another egg that I had done over Easter. So I will do this, and we're going to start with a little green foil. This is Peridot Green. Again, I carry it at paintedstudio.com. And again, please share, because the more shares you like, the more shares you do, the more Facebook likes me. So we're going to cut a little piece of this Peridot Green. Peridots were one of my grandmother's favorite stones, and I love that green. So here we go. I took the foil, this Peridot Green, and I crunched it up and left it ugly side out, and I'm pouncing the duck. A little piece of stuff stuck on there. I am struggling with that today. I must not be cutting very clean edges. I did the edges of the duck as well, so okay, so that's kind of funky looking. It's just green and purpley with weird speckles. But when I initially did this, then used this fuchsia foil, which is not the same as that light pink I showed you. It's fuchsia. Here's the fuchsia roll. I'm going to take a bigger piece of the fuchsia, and then we're going to do the next step. So this is one of the fun things you can do, is you can not only just do a single color with foils or a single pattern, you can do multiples, and you can build the colors to expose themselves in ways that you hadn't really thought about. So here's the duck. I'm gonna pull the black duck out of the way a little bit because it's in my way. So there we go. Put this down here, lay it down, 100%. First thing I'm gonna do is rub it with my hands, because this foil releases so well with Jennifer's ArtsSyVille foil size, which I carry. I mean, just look how good the release is just on that alone. See? Look how good that release is. And I didn't even scrub it. Now, I need to do some more because, quite frankly, there's really not quite enough coverage. Where did I put my scrub brush? I grabbed everything. I know I grabbed the scrub brush. Here it is next to me. So I'm going to scrub. And I'm trying to stay scrubbing only within the wood grain so it looks more reasonable. I don't have funny scrub marks. Oh yeah, that came out just right. All right, I'm going to cut the butt end here. Yep, that's coming out just right. I still have some spots on the front that didn't get enough adhesive. Yes, that came out. Look how great that came out. Oh, I'm so excited. Look how nicely that worked. Oh, that's perfect. Now, of course, I got to do the sides too, just like I had to do with the other. You know, I did one color on the sides, I got to do all the colors on the sides. Oh yeah, that's coming out just right. Let's get on the, cover the duck's butt with pink foil. Look how nice that comes out. This is what it looks like before, and that's how it finishes up. Oh, and the purple, again, is important because it needs, this pink needs a rich background. And I wanted just a little more depth than painting it the same kind of color as the pink foil. I wanted a little bit of contrast, which is exactly what I get from doing another color underneath. And I'll show you a little more about contrast as soon as I finish with the duck here. I gotta molest the duck. I don't know if it's maul or molest at this point. Maybe I'm just mauling the duck. All right, I gotta get under the duck's beak here. I know you can't really see it, but right now I'm rubbing foil under the duck's beak to make sure to get the duck done. And then I've got his head. And this is, I want you to see how much foil is, you know, I'm using a lot of foil to have this happen. You know, it looks deceptively like it wouldn't take a lot of foil, but it does actually. It takes, you don't realize how much surface area you're covering. Sorry, I'm trying to think and talk at the same time, and sometimes I don't do that very well. I can think just fine, I can talk just fine, but I can't always talk and think. So look how cute this came out. And of course, like the eggs, it's gonna have glitter, because why wouldn't it? And we're gonna do another, oh. All of the cutting boards are sticking to the table. It's because I got foil adhesive on the backs of a few things, which will have to be cleaned off. So I've got, this is a fish cutting board, and this is specifically, the client commissioned 3 of these to be done as gifts, and then the fish he wants for himself. So I painted it teal, and he had a love of a couple of the things that I did. So first thing I'm going to do is take this pattern. I could go the other direction, but I actually like it this way. So I have my little foil pattern here. Now where did I put my glue? Here we go. And then I'm going to use, too much foil adhesive floating around. I am going to use this foil. They're going to have, this is called silver confetti. And I'm going to cut little pieces out because I don't want it to go over the edge of the piece, of the stencil, because then it'll leave a funny pattern that I don't really want to have to try to figure out how to correct. So first thing I'm doing is rubbing it into the pattern here. I can feel the pattern of the stencil through the foil. So I'm going to make sure all of it's adhered. I'm going to take a minute. I'm just going to do a little scrubby. Okay, there's that, and you can see it's already in there, and look at that holographic. Yeah, obviously I didn't need stencil adhesive because there's so much adhesive. Look how cool that is. Oh, he's going to be so thrilled. Oh, I love fun clients who let me do fun things. All right, so let me get this placed where it needs to go. Oh, I'm not happy with how that's lying there. Let's do this side first. Get it all lined up. Careful, careful. I'm sorry, the duck is in the way. You can't see what I'm doing. Yes, sorry, Rima, I did move the duck. I'm moving it again so you can see better. This is what happens. I have 2 8-foot tables to work with. And what do? I make my life harder by using 3 square feet at the end of one of the tables. I build up like this little fortress around me of stuff. Oh, that's perfect, except I got one little gap spot right there, which I knew I might see happen because I'm dealing with the pattern that, you know, I'm using foil that I've already used once, so it's already got a good release of the pattern on the back. Look how well that releases. Oh my God. That's so fun. Oh, I got a little piece of something stuck on the lip of the fish. Well, that's not good. Let me get this back up here. All right. And this happens all the time. When you got foil size around, stuff gets stuck to it. You just got to figure out how to peel it off best. And there we go. Little piece of stuff stuck there. Now I'm going to get that little bit of foil right on the edge of the fish's mouth that needs to be there. And see what's happening is I'm getting a great release. And now I just got to figure out this over here. Okay, so I got that last bit there. And here we go, getting it all in. And I know I'm going to have some spots that I have to fix because I know I'm already working with a piece of foil, like I said before, that I've released some of the pattern from. So I'm going to have a few gaps that I have to kind of come back like this and go fill in. Yes, I am. I build myself a nest around myself. It's kind of demented. Like with all this space, I still crowd myself with stuff so I don't have to reach far. Oh, look how cool that is. Oh, I'm so excited. I got one little scratch spot that needs to go right there. Let's get the edges right here. Okay, so look how awesome that is. And again, what this is little pieces of plastic from off of my table. So I gotta kind of pull them up off of here before I do the next step. This is so glamorous. The glamorous life of a decorative painter. What do? Pull stuff that's stuck in one thing out and stick it into something else. There we go. And because I miscut this from before, I have this whole sheet of the waterfall blue that's going right over this. Oh, yes. It's going to lay down nicely. I'm going to rub it. Can't you move the stencil to do the foil part? Okay, Inga, yes. If I was only applying foil to the pattern that I had done, I have foil adhesive over the entire surface. So if I had just wanted that pattern done, I would have put foil adhesive only through the stencil and then wouldn't have worried. But I knew what I was going to do to this. I knew I was going to come up with this idea of, because he had already kind of given me an idea of what he wanted and what I'd already done that he liked. So I knew he wanted some pattern and some multiple colors and some interesting shine. So I knew I was doing a whole thing in foil, because look how that came out. See how pretty that came out? Yeah, that was my thumbprint right there. So I'm going to get the edges, and any place that I have some kind of weird screw up, I put a very, very thin coat of foil adhesive and then repair it. Because with the texture and the pattern, you can't really see it. I know I can repair it without making it an issue. Like making it a super visible issue. Does that make sense to everybody? Get the edge of my fish. Oh, that's pretty. That is pretty, pretty, pretty. I'm not even worrying on the sides here because the grain has some texture. You're not even really seeing the pattern so much. I'm just making sure that there is color from the foil. So unlike on the top where the direction I laid my pattern would have been vital, here, not so much. Here it's just, you know, get some color metallics kind of on the surface. Oh. Let's do this. And you can do this, I mean, I'm doing it with cutting boards. You can do this on any kind of surface like this. These are my client's cutting boards that he didn't want to be cutting boards anymore. He wanted to preserve them forever as something his dad did, but he wanted them more decorative, and now he's going to give them to other people. But this kind of stuff works for tables and chairs and furniture, you know, flowers, pots, bedspreads. Yes, because, and I'm saying fabric things because, yes, I am indeed going to be getting the fabric adhesive in. I'm just waiting for my shipment. I snoozed a little bit. I should have ordered the night before, and by the time I ordered the next day, it was already sold out, and I'm back ordered to bring it in here. So, but it will be here soon. Look how cool that is. Oh, and again, look at that. Oh, I'm just so pleased with that. These will all get glitter, so they're going to have a little extra shimmer. Now, my client has said that his mother doesn't like yellow, his sister doesn't like yellow, but one of his other sisters does. So it's only one that I can't do any yellow on. But Kari asked to see this before I go any further. I'm going to do this last one in a foil that I happen to have a sample of. I don't have the actual foil. I might grab another stencil to do a pattern. So here is, dun, da, da, da. Let me get it open. This is the brown and gold and silver tie-dye. Look at how gorgeous that is. Oh, this is so pretty. So I'm thinking, but I've got this cool random piece of holographic that's kind of orangey and pink. So I was thinking of doing that with a crazy gold flower. So give me just a second. I got to go grab my stencil that I needed because I left it out of my reach. So, alrighty, we are going to be using this stencil, which you have seen me use for a couple other things. But I think what I'm going to do, I'm not sure which way, here we go, this way. I'm going to set this here so you can see it. And then let me see what other crazy things I have over here. Oh, I do have this. So I happen to have random samples over the years of crazy patterns and stuff. And I gotta see what you all are saying. It doesn't want to show me. Okay. Might need to see the orange one better. That's really pretty. Yeah, I love this. I'm sort of, Carrie, you're having a foilgasm. I'm reading your comments so that I can answer you, and you guys are funny as heck. Okay, so let me scroll back for a second. Stunning. Thank you, Rima. You're going to do your jeans tomorrow. Yes, you have your fabric foil adhesive. I don't have mine yet. I'm waiting on it. Might have to see that orange a little bit better. Yes, Inga, I will show you the orange better. Okay, so here we go. This is another cool, sorry, I needed a minute to read all your comments. This is sort of this funky confetti foil that I had. I actually have silver confetti and rolls, but I don't have any gold confetti. I need to see if I have another piece of that because that's already been used. I have interesting random stuff in, oh, this will even be good. This is actually kind of cool too. I have that. Oh, I get too excited. I see too many things and I can't make up my mind which way I'm going. Let's see if I got any more of that one. I am actually slightly off screen, so you can't really see what I'm doing. So I think what I'm going to do, because I have these odds and ends pieces of stuff, I'm going to put a little of this on here, and then what doesn't have any foil on it, I will use some of this other glitter foil too. I'm just sort of using what I have in little, these are not colors I think that I'm carrying. All the other ones are colors I'm carrying, just because it's what happened to be there, and I have one that I need to do in colors that I don't actually have at the moment to sell. Okay. But if you all like these, I will get them. And that didn't show up like much of anything interesting. Let's see what this does. A little dull. I might have to find something else more interesting in the background than that holographic one I was originally planning, because I don't think there's enough interest there. I'm going to put this back down because I just realized I missed a few spots. And I want this pattern to be good. So I'm going to get in there with my fingernail. I use toothbrushes and all kinds of other little tools. My fingernails are often the most effective when I have a funny space that I don't have an easy way of getting into with any other tool. Oh yeah, that's cool. I'm gonna get that in there, a little dot in there. I have a whole lot of pattern right here that got ignored. So loving this. And then I'm gonna get these little dots up here. One more little dot down there. Come on, I know you got glue on you. There we go. Take that off, and you see I've got that nice pattern. We're getting a little, there was a little something on the back of this that wants to transfer, but I'm not concerned about that because the foil, whatever foil I use, will hide that. All right, let's put that so I can get a little bit of pattern on this. And then let's get a little more pattern down in here. So I'm using what is called a tinsel gold foil. It's a little holographic. And then I have this more like a glitter gold that I used to go fill in the extras. So we're gonna get a little bit of holographic sense out of it, but not too crazy. All right, I need to pull that off there because that's a little something that stuck. All right, now I have to figure out, this is the harder one now. Let's see, there we go. I have to find my registration marks, and for those who are not familiar with registration marks, all these little cuts and openings here are openings into the pattern so I can figure out where to lay the next one. And that's kind of how you do it. Let's take that corner, and I just knock my scrub brush on the floor. Dots here. Get my fingers down into all the little crevices so that I can make sure we got a clear pattern release. Yep, that's why I go in with the fingers, because I find little spots that I might not have seen before. And then I want to take some of this, fill in the rest of the detail. Okay. Yeah, that's good. And then let's see. I got some registration marks right here. All right, there we go. Everything's lined up. Let's do another little lay on of foil here. Again, getting my fingernails in, making sure that I haven't left anything out. There we go. Nice, look at that great pattern. I got a funny thing showing up on my camera, I can't read it. So look at how nice that pattern is right there. Oh, I'm very pleased. Now one thing I need to do is check on one more over here to see if I need to put a little pattern somewhere, which I thought I might have. Pattern that belongs right there. Can't forget the duck's bills. All right, get in there with my fingernails, feel for everything. With that. All right, well, that great idea I had for the background is not going to be contrasting enough. So I also have this funky foil that looks like bubbles. And I think that would make a great background here. So let's try that. I stuck it on. I'll cut my piece. Now, if you don't see any of these foils, if you want to order them and they're not on my website, just drop me a note and I'll make sure I get it. And you will have it as soon as I have it. All right, so now I'm going to scrub on this. And what this will do is it'll fill in again the background of any of the pattern that didn't have the gold flowers on it. All right. Oh, that's cool. Look at that. That is cool. Oh, I love this. And you can still see some of the black in the background breaking through. That's perfectly normal. You're supposed to see that. I'm going to do a little bit like this. And I'm going to do the edges of the duck again. The edges are nowhere near as exciting, but they do make the piece. Part of doing anything is making sure the look is complete. I know a lot of people, when they do furnitures, do the insides or the sides of drawers. I tend personally not to do that for the very specific reason that sometimes if you build stuff up on the edges of drawers, it can make it harder for them to open and close. But I don't begrudge anybody. It's a cute look and I like it tremendously. I personally might consider foiling the edges of the drawers more because it's a thinner coating. So I'm loving how this is coming out. And then I'm going to get the top here. Like foil off a duck's back. Back of the head. And there we go. Look at how cute that is. Oh, he's going to be thrilled. And again, I still have to glitter all of these, and I have to, finish up and seal them. They will all be sealed. They will all be glittered, and they will all be adorable. I will post pictures of all the finished products. So, I'm going to swing the camera around, swing me around. Hello, I'm back. Oh, sorry. Quiet mode. I accidentally turned on. All right, you have to meet a client. I have to. I'm done for the day. So, Kari, you're not missing anything. Great to see everybody here. Thanks for joining me in my fun project. You're going to be doing this to your hutch top too now. This is lovely. I got to get some stencils. Yes, 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 yes. Enjoy. Tell me the two gold names again. Those golds, one was like a confetti gold, one was a glitter gold foil. Like I said, I'm not sure if it's on my website. I honestly can't remember what all I have there. I'm pulling out of a scrap bin, but if you don't see it there, let me know and I will make sure to get it. And I thank everybody again, one more time, share, share, share. Share this post, share this video. I will have it posted on YouTube probably by tomorrow. I have to edit and get all the other materials into it. I'll do the fast forwards of the prep and all of that nonsense. And meanwhile, if you like me, subscribe to my YouTube channel, subscribe to my business page, come give me some love, and share, share, share. Thanks again, everybody. Purchase is available at paintedstudio.com. Have a great day. Bye.